Good morning. Please, yeah. What happened? Post tea, post coffee. We are here to talk about AI. And I have my energetic friends who are technocrats, data analysts, core TA professional, core HR professional, systems. So please welcome us in a better way. Good morning, friends. Thank you. So I woke them up, yes. So I would, let's start with our panel discussion. We are in the fourth industrial revolution. All our earlier friends spoke about AI, the TA, yes. We fully agree, yes, it can, help us, especially during COVID situation. We were all struggling what to do, how to recruit. And of course, AI supported us. We know it helps us in onboarding, and it helps us in core recruitment, assessing, after that, early warning indicating, removing bias, it helps us in process, it keeps us honest. Yes, we fully agree, and we've been talking about this for the past 3-4 years, right? And what is happening after that? Yes, we have harnessed AI very tightly, but are there any enhancements? Are there any challenges? How are we facing these situations? So I have my subject matter experts who are going to share their knowledge and talk to us about it. Okay. I'd like to start with Matthew. So I think, Matthew, would you like to introduce yourself first and then?
Hello, good morning, all of you. I'm Matthew Joseph. I'm heading the CIMB Bank AI Labs, and we are based out of Bangalore. We are one of the largest banking group in the ASEAN countries, operating in 14 countries. We have an in-house artificial intelligence lab based out of India, and I'm heading the India business. And it's really great to be part of this wonderful gathering, and I would love to participate in this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew.
Good morning, friends. Most of you know me. I have been in some conferences, so thanks for the opportunity given to me. My name is Nadeem Pasha. I head the talent acquisition function at Robosoft, which is based out in Udupi. So all of you might be knowing what is Udupi, right? It's a very small city in Karnataka, but it has taken its huge fame across globally. So a couple of years back, we were acquired by a Japanese company called Technopro. So that acquisition has taken us to a huge lead, and it has taken us to a huge jump. So I carry 2 decades of work experience. I have worked with companies like Oracle, Huawei, Mindtree, Allegis. Then I worked with Inspirage. Now I am with Robosoft. I am extremely excited to be a part of this session. I am happy to contribute the little knowledge, whatever I have. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadeem.
Hello all, I'm Anupama and I come from Seneca Global IT Services. Seneca Global is founded with the dream to bring the kind of work to India that's not usually offshored. So we work with patent products, we do ground-up product engineering work and work for products of social causes. So we have many products to name, for example, cognitive robotics, which extensively uses AI for autism children that connects therapists to patients, to parents, and the actual children who need the most evasive treatment. So this is the kind of work, and the challenge here and the interesting topic connect is how do we connect the software people who work on that technology with the tech inside with HR. So that's from Seneca Global.
I mean, all my colleagues gave a wonderful interview speeches to start with. Guys, all you all selected. What the company does and what you all do, fantastic. My name is Prashil. I work for PDX data centers. So what all these guys do, they need a place to sit and stay. And that's where my data center comes in picture. And that's how I serve the AI industry, the IT industry, the hyperscaler industry at this point of time. As simple, that's what I do. I manage the HR with them. And if you guys want to select me, please let me know, raise your hand, and I'll start working with you.
Good. Okay, I'd like to start with the audience first. Is AI, what do you say, a buzzword or a game changer? What's your view? It's a game changer? Okay. Phase of change, right. Because we've been using this word for quite some time, right? So, any other views? Okay. So my first question would be to Nadeem. Nadeem, how do recruiters and hiring managers like kind of collaborate with this AI tool, right? Earlier we were all collaborating with them, we were discussing, we would sort out, we would fight as well, or let's be honest, right? Because TA team and the hiring managers are always like, so we were doing all of it, but we were also having some meaningful conversation outcome. But after this AI that's been implemented, so what role does human judgment play in making final hiring decisions?
Thanks, Sumati. Thank you all. Thanks, Sumati, for this question. So let me go back and do some analysis here. I am just going almost 15 years back when I was a recruiter, and today also I am a recruiter. I call myself as a proud recruiter always. I will remain a recruiter, right? So we used to run with resumes, right? Keep them in the pigeonholes and write Java, write C++, write Windows, write embedded, right? So recruiter used to come, hiring manager used to come, pick up the resumes from the pigeonholes and see all the resumes are similar. Because somebody has taken the resume, go cut, copy, paste similar things, then paste it there. Everything looks similar. And it was becoming an extremely difficult job for a recruiter or a hiring manager to pick up the right candidate because they don't know the resume looks similar. Unless they don't speak, they will not be knowing whether this is the right candidate or not. We have faced a lot of challenges. We have faced a lot of issues in the past. But now I see a lot of streamlining because we believe that AI has taken a huge amount of load. What we used to carry, which was a bulk load which we used to carry earlier, has been erased. Thanks to AI. The reason why I'm saying this is in our organization, I'm just giving you one practical example. So whenever we source and share profiles, we know what we are sourcing. It doesn't go with the keyword, right? We used to do, all of us we used to do a keyword search. If Java exists in 19, 20 times in a resume, that's the best profile. That used to be the analogy people used to carry one point of time. That's not the same case anymore. So the tool what we use, it goes little deeper and it understands the relevant projects what this candidate has experienced. Is this project is into the development, customization, integration, or a combination of both customization, integration, product support, right, customer enhancement. So it does a little bit of more intelligence work to give us a relevant meaning out of it. I don't have to sit and source 100 resumes to shortlist 10 candidates. I might have to screen some 15 to 20 profiles to pick up the top 8 to 10. So that has really a game changer for us. So by doing that, we are saving enormous amount of time, we are saving a good amount of cost and lot more energy. So our energies are getting utilized in a better way thanks to AI, and we have been able to do a meticulous job so far. And recruiters are not feeling burnt out because they have so many positions to work upon, and how do we source, right? So hiring managers are sitting on your head. So all those things have been erased. And anyway, the app can be installed on your cell phone, right? You can schedule the interview there and then. You can see the feedback there and then. And the feedback mechanism also is very easier, right? You don't have to read the feedback. The tool gives you a feedback all in red. That means candidate is reject. The tool gives you a feedback all in green. That means candidate is a select, first round select. Nobody has time and patience to go through the feedback. But still, tool is easing out in lot many ways. Thanks to AI for that. But I will also talk about the flip side of it maybe in my next round of conversation. Thanks, Sumati. I hope I answered the question.
Right, I agree with you. A recruiter spends at least 15 hours for a position to get the right candidate. So AI does help, but there are different views too, because AI has been here for quite some time, and especially with our brilliant millennials, who can, replace or, think far better than what an AI could do. So, Dr. Prashil, what are your views? Are you sure that this can kind of, mitigate the bias, or it can keep us 100% honest? I mean, we have to be, honest. I have my doubts, but because it's been with us for quite some time, and there are a lot of changes that's happening. And of course, as a HR team, we are also gearing, trying to change, understand. But the current generation thinks far beyond, and they can do wonders. So I wanted you to share your views on what you feel.
Um, the, uh, the overall, if you look at a 10,000 square feet view above, AI in recruitment or in the HR services or solutions has helped or is a game changer because it reduces a lot of activity. But what really comes out of that activity is the core for human decision making. And as much as the millennials or as much as the people who change their resumes and fit it correctly and put it into the recruitment system and move up the ladder, the most important part is still human decision making, which is not replaced even today. So the process, as we started in the first era, the process has improved, the process has changed. But the decision-making criteria has not fully trusted upon the AI, and we're still doing it ourselves. And the decision-making criteria has really affected or burnt out the middle layer and the senior layer in the organization, because the AI gives options, and those options to choose and make a decision on is not left at the lower level of the organization, which apparently has caused a lot of pain. The millennials who are into the level of the organization, who want to make the decisions, are not able to make. So as much as AI is come into the picture, is increase the process, is reduce the time and given a lot of time to the people, but the organizations in parallels have not moved in their process to help and aid the decision making, right decisions for a particular situation. So I'm trying to answer the question, but it's slightly away from it. The challenge that we are currently going through is organizations moving in the same pace as much as the AI inclusion into the organization. We want to include AI. This is something as simple as POSH or DEI. We want to do it, but has the organization moved in the similar pace like that? Probably AI did its job by giving you an alternative, but are we into the process of, are we able to make that decision, and who is actually making them and who is actually burning out is the fallout of the situation as of today, and in my experience in the past few years. Up to you.
Dr. Anupama, I have a question. How do we leverage candidate experience now that with all this robot, ChatGPT, AI, and things like that? Are we really, leveraging the AI? Yes, I would say, but my personal view, as I was sharing with you, now if I'm going to get a call from a robot or just an impersonal message, I may or may not, because I'm a passive candidate, right? And of course, they, kind of announce that, the salary is going to be 5 times. I will jump up and, respond immediately, irrelevant to a robot or whoever it is. It's 5 times more, right? Otherwise, if it's just a thing from, this is, I've raised a level, so I won't be responding. So what's your view on that? Are we really leveraging the candidate experience? How are candidates feeling? How could it differ in a larger organization, a mid-sized organization? Can you just share your view?
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful start by taking your example, Sumati, because experience is definitely personalized. So personalization plays a key role in designing and defining experience. So when I have looked at the candidate experience part in the design phase in my organization, there were 2 considerations that we have put at the top notch, and we said these are going to be important and everything else is going to kind of follow subsequently. The first consideration is, do we know the target candidate whose experience we are kind of defining? And when we say we want to know the candidate, like Sumati rightly said, when the candidate feels that I'm at a particular level and this is what I'm expecting. So we have the generational categorization of people. We have millennials, we have boomers, we have everybody who think, operate in a very, very different way. There are a lot of section of people who are very, very engaged with games, bots, who want a very fancy ecosystem that they can interact with, and they would love to be on that platform for hours. And if we build a tiny weeny amount of learning into the interface, which is primarily recruitment and candidate experience platform, and that will hook them on for hours. And that will set the pace for what the candidate is really looking at, what the candidate is capable of, and where is the candidate headed to, and a lot of insights from that platform that we can gather or glean onto. The second consideration is, how are people trying to interact with you? Because people want to look at an organization as a person. And people want the organization to be a person. So if at the end of the day we create an experience that we are a bot on the other side of the table, then I'm sure, irrespective of the beautiful interface and the very high-fied gamification, we will not be able to reach through the heart of the person. The person sitting on the other side of the coin needs to have the human touch element that goes and speaks to the other person, and there are proven theories, there are various plugins, there are various algorithms that actually do this type of conversation without actually sounding like a bot. So these are the top two considerations that we felt will make a difference, and we have been seeing results. And over and beyond the scope of what we did, there were a lot of research that we referred to as part of it, and there's an interesting part which I want to share with all of you. And this is a story. There is this young millennial who is coming to this platform, who is amazed by the gamified experience platform, who is looking at the job opportunities, who is looking at the learning opportunities, who is kind of playing with it, who is going from one level to the other, and they come and get stuck at a point in time. And there, they want to raise a question, they want to ask something, and they ask it because the platform gives the opportunity to ask it. The response they get, whether it is sounding automated, whether it is sounding personalized, makes all of the difference. The most engaged person who has come so far would retract as fast as possible if it sounds a very automated and a generated message. So irrespective of the thought that goes into every level, the person who is handling it and the empathy that they bring with the human touch makes a lot of difference to the experience part of the entire system. So if there is a team that's handling it, if there is a person who has put in the thought and who is there and who is monitoring, that makes a lot of value to the existing systems and platforms.
Thank you. I keep quoting this example, during hiring managers, they want a skill which is like, a combination of He-Man, Superman, Spider-Man, or a monkey donkey, or I don't want to say that word. I would say He-Man, Superman, and a Spider-Man, and any other latest man available. That's how, emerging man. Very, very, very difficult, right? A He-Man is a He-Man, a Superman is a Superman, and a Spider-Man is a Spider-Man. Now probably, so I think AI can throw up some data on all this. So I just want to, question for you, Matthew, is how do we, keep all this in mind, and how are algorithms, prepared to handle such challenges for the TA community?
Yeah. So since I work in this artificial intelligence space, I just want to be very clear about what AI can do and what AI cannot do. Right? So we need to be very clear about that. So we say AI is going to be a game changer, but let's be honest and let's be realistic that AI is not going to replace humans. As she was saying,
Absolutely.
people want to join a company, right? A person, a company as a person, who understands the candidate, right? So I don't join or I don't hire machines. Somebody who is expert in Java, somebody who is expert in programming, somebody who is expert in manufacturing. No, as a company, I want to hire a person who has expertise in programming or project management or manufacturing or machine operation or whatever, right? And from a candidate's point of view, he's not going to join 1,000 machines who is producing car or FMCG products or services or no. He is going to join a group of wonderful people where he allowed to be part of that set of people who happens to produce car or manufacture something, certain products or something. So it is person joining a set of person. So let's be very realistic that personal touch we should not be replacing or it cannot be replaced. But what AI is going to do is to help in the whole process of a person joining a set of other like-minded people who are doing certain set of goals, business goals, right? So in terms of, from a company point of view, AI can help in decision management, right? So if we talk about staffing, recruitment, interview process, selection process, onboarding or employee management, in every step there is a decision which is taken by the recruiter or by the HR manager or by the department head who is doing the interview. There are certain decisions taken. So AI can help there, right? AI can help instead of taking a subjective decision, AI can help in managing your decisions with data, with tangible data. It can give you the recommendation. So right from, we talked about fake profiles. And I'm facing that for a long time. You will see 5 project managers with the same project copy-pasted, claiming to be the project manager of the same project. I've seen that many years back. One project can have only one project manager, but you will see the same thing. AI can help in scrutinizing, detecting the such fake profiles. Then come to the test process, selection process. Instead of rolling out the same set of questions to all of us, AI can understand the job requirement, the JD, what is the job role, what are the skill requirement, and what is this candidate coming. He is coming with a set of experience, set of skill set on the table. Map it and customize, personalize the set of questions for him so that we have a better selection process. And then comes to the interview, right? The same interview, we have a solution where AI solution which helps in analyzing the video, how a candidate is responding to a question, his emotions, the way he is responding, and give a recommendation to the selection interview panel. Yeah, this candidate, this is how he is managing his stress, he is managing, he is able to take decision, he is able to respond to difficult questions, he is the way his body language, everything AI can detect, it can take, and AI is not going to take decision there. The AI is not going to select the candidate. AI is not going to replace the expertise of the interview panel board. Right? AI will give recommendation out of the 100 candidates. These 5, 6 candidates, yeah, they are good. And then it goes to as a recommendation to the panelist, and you have 2 openings, and then the interview panel will select the right candidate. So from an interview point of view, from a interview panel point of view, you have the panel board, the interviewers who are sitting there, they are getting the recommendations, not random recommendation, but with certain intelligence applied, analyzing the data, with analyzing the video, you get a recommendation so that you can manage your decision. So AI is helping in decision management, right? And another point which we talked about is reaching out to the candidate. Will you respond to a candidate maybe probably a fresh graduate? I mean, not even fresh graduates also don't do that because they have hundreds of options these days. You consider an experienced candidate with a 10-year experience is not going to respond to your machine-generated interview call. So that is where the human touch is required. AI is not going to replace. But from a 1,000 candidate list, a person, an HR recruiter who is recruitment manager who is going to speak to the candidate will get a shortlisted list of candidates. So from 1,000 profiles, the AI tool is going to recommend and shortlist and give you 20 candidates, and then the recruiter will speak to, personally dial and speak to that candidate and give that personal touch and speak to him and communicate so that the candidate will respond positively. So the recruiter is not replaced with AI. The recruiter, instead of spending days together to shortlist 1,000 candidates, 1,000 profiles, the AI is helping that recruiter to bring down from 1,000 to 20, and then the recruiter is doing his job or her job of calling the candidate and fixing the interview and helping in the interview process. So we need to be very clear about the role of AI and the role of humans. The machine is not going to replace humans as on today. I don't know what's going to happen after 50 years, but not today.
Any future plans that we have, I think any of you can answer. What are the future trends? We all know what AI's limitation, any suggestion, any views, any future trends, any of you could answer.
Yeah, let me take this. So friends, I also want to tell a small, not a story, but most of you can recall. So I just want to go back 15 years back. I will take Bangalore itself as an example. So we are on the roads, we used to travel, and we used to see so many big hoardings, right? A glamorous, beautiful girl with a phone, right? Call center executive, outbound sales, outbound calling, voice support, non-voice support, lucrative salary, just 10 plus 2, sometimes 10 plus 2, 10 plus 2 plus 3, good communication skills. Can anybody see those hoardings anymore? All those hoardings have vanished. That is a practical example how AI has taken over the jobs. It's
Will
not
we vanish soon?
Yeah, it has gone.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
Our
We will not
jobs.
vanish. We will
We
not
won't.
vanish.
How do you say that?
We will
Why
not
can't
vanish.
an AI
No,
foresee?
I'm just coming there. Right? Those jobs have gone. What has happened to those jobs? Many times I can tell those jobs are the jobs which has less emotions to it. Right? It was more of transaction. The word itself called transaction processing executive, right? Outbound calling. It is just number based. It is just transaction based. Those jobs are gone. Those jobs are not there anymore. But doesn't mean to say that those jobs doesn't exist. Those jobs meticulously done by AI today, right? I will give you a critical and a clean example. You call HDFC, you call ICICI, you call insurance company. Unless you don't go through 5 iterations from a machine, you will never be able to speak to a phone banking officer. Earlier, that never used to be the case, right? You just call the number, phone banking officer used to pick the call, resolve your queries, raise the ticket, get it solved. Now you need to go through at least 4 to 5 iterations. Press 1, press 5, language preference, what is the query, already a set of questions. By saying this, what I want to tell you is, those days are over, where you are counting problems in numbers, and those problems can be solved easily. And those problems are easily solved by AI now. Unless until it is critical, which requires some human analysis, which requires some amount of emotion getting added, phone banking officer will pick the call after minimum 4 to 5 iterations. That is one clean and practical example of how AI has taken over the jobs. But what is the good part about it? The good part about it is, as Matthew said, more and more jobs are getting created, where we need people who can add human element to it. So there is a good sentence called high tech, human touch. This is still needed. High tech is AI, human touch is we. As long as high tech, human touch is there, all jobs are there. And I am extremely confident the amount of jobs that is getting created, it is just pushing us to change our mindset. It is not the tool set, it is not the skill set, it is the mindset. And it is asking us to be little more strategic in nature. By saying that, it is better that we learn little bit of additional technologies to stay relevant. And please keep an eye open. What is happening tomorrow, better be prepared today. This is what AI is asking to do. That's my answer.
Absolutely, I agree. Absolutely. upskilling and reskilling is utmost important. If we don't keep ourselves abreast, AI might take over. So, and
Maybe,
definitely cannot replace
maybe
human.
if you allow me, I can add on a little more onto this. So as you are saying now about the call centers which is being taken over by artificial intelligence. So we have gone a step further. Right now, if you call any bank, now it goes through the IVR, different options, language selection, and you have to enter your account number, your last 3 transactions, everything, and it goes through the whole thing, right? So what we have done is we have taken a step further. The moment you call from your registered phone number, the call center officer on her dashboard will get the complete profile of the customer with his family details, with his account details and everything, so that instead of wasting 5 minutes in going through the whole steps of language and your account, your relationship, everything, because you have the data. You have the data and you don't need to go through every time validating you. So the artificial intelligence will validate you, understands what you have, your relationship with the bank, and what is your historical, your family, what are your financial needs. And when you get into the call center executive gets into a conversation, she will probably ask about your family, she knows on her dashboard, she will know that this customer has 2 kids and where they're studying, right? She will probably ask about your daughter studying in the 10th standard, about her exam, and she will get into a very personalized conversation where you will have an emotional and personal bond between your organization and the customer. That's the future. And that's the future where the artificial intelligence is going to help you as a person, even for a call center executive. She is going to get all the data about the customer insight so that you can have a personalized conversation instead of having an impersonal conversation where you validate every time you are asked your details, everything, because these are all redundant stuff. That's number one. The second is artificial intelligence. When we talk about HR, it is not just about staffing, the human resource, right from recruitment till the offboarding. You resign and go, right? You join a company, work for 5 years, resign, onboard and go. The entire life cycle of human resource in a company is managed by artificial intelligence, right from recruitment, staffing, profile, shortlisting, test, interview process, onboarding. Then once you onboard, your personalized training, you as a person, you have certain skills. What are the skill gap? You are not going to roll out training to 100 people, the same thing. The 100 people, your training requirements are different. The artificial intelligence will tell you when person Tom joins the candidate company, these are his skill and these are his skill gap and these are the training requirement for him. So the training calendar is personalized and rolled out for that person. And then your performance management, your annual appraisal, it is not going to happen at the end of the year. Throughout the year you are working and your data is collected, your contributions are collected, captured, and throughout the year, the 12 months of your effort, your contributions are considered, and the artificial intelligence will help in your performance appraisal. And then probably even who are the people likely to resign, who are the people likely to attrition management, and then give out that report back to the HR so that HR will come up with, or your department will come up with the retention plans and your offboarding. So the artificial intelligence is going to take over or help in the entire life cycle of an employee, right from recruitment till offboarding. And that's the future, and that's what we do.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Matthew. I think we are running short of time. I've got reminder twice. Maybe we'll take one question and then, all of them are available. You can take it offline. If you have just one question, we can take it up.
So my question is regarding the AI, as we discussed, that it has a very good impact in terms of processing, in terms of TA. But if I say the other part of it, that means nowadays the candidates are also very smart. They are also using AI. And copy pasting is now no more exist. There are many advanced AI tools where they just see the JD and create their CVs. So in that case, what is the best practices you feel that we can get the good candidates out of that common highlighted CVs, advanced CVs?
Just to quickly answer, I would like to suggest let's give a personal touch to the candidate rather than having a video call or a tele interview and all. I still suggest let's start, if it, forget any position, whether it is critical or normal position, let's call the candidate to the office and make the candidate sit in front of us and scrutinize. That's the best way to analyze, judge, and take a suitable call whether we need to hire the candidate or not.
Thank you.
Okay, let me answer this question with a story.
I think we're running short of time.
1 minute.
Just, nice.
It was 7:30 in the evening. My global TA director comes to me and says, "We just have 19 candidates. We cannot fulfill this. We are absolutely up the hilt. I can't do it anymore." I go back home in a heavy head, and me and my son were arguing about a topic. And we argued about something, and it was in zest, but we argued. Topic stopped. He goes inside, comes out, and says, "See, Dad, your mind does not process this, so let me say it differently." And he tried to put the topic again, and which probably at that stage I understood what his point of view was. But it gave me a thought. I went back and I rewrote for that position a JD. Four JDs is what I wrote. And when I uploaded the JDs into my tool, I had 236 resumes come up the cadre. AI ho ya nahi ho? Let me come back in Hindi. We are intelligent enough to crack it. I mean, I'm sure jobs will move on and jobs will go on, but there would be always a loophole behind. And sorry, Mr. Matthew, but it's true. We can still crack it some way or the other. So go home and go to sleep with a simple head. Don't be so tensed. We can still crack the way. It's one topic at a time, solve it. I don't think so that should be a problem going ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'd like to conclude that, AI can never replace our human. We are much more smarter. Thank you everyone, and thank you, my dear panel members, for this wonderful session. Thank you.
Instead of Chat GPT, sometimes use Chai GPT, which I have seen recently, which is very nice, right? Genuinely pure tea with AI, adrak and elaichi.